Hi, my name is Sasha. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book review double feature, which means that I'm going to be reviewing two books in one video. And that is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens and The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. I thought I would start doing this with retellings because whenever I read a classic, I don't really know how to review it. It's hard in contemporary language to review something that was written not in contemporary language, and it doesn't translate well, and I don't usually have a lot to say about it. I usually have like a paragraph or something to say. So I thought I would do this since I read A Christmas Carol and then The Afterlife of Holly Chase in the same month. And now I'm reading Twelfth Night by Shakespeare and The Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake. And that's a retelling and the source material. So I thought it was a good idea. Tell me if you think it's a good idea. But I'm probably just going to do it anyway, even if you think it's a bad idea. So A Christmas Carol is the classic novel by Charles Dickens. It came out in December of 1843. It is about the miserly old man named Ebenezer Scrooge, who is not in the Christmas spirit, and who gets visited by the ghost of his business partner, who tells him that three spirits are going to come and visit him and show him the error of his ways. This is a truly lovely classic. Perhaps it's because I read it around Christmas time, but I think it captures the giving spirit of Christmas. I think it should be required reading for people in such a commercial time when people are only interested about buying things for ourselves and getting popular on social media. The true spirit of Christmas, I believe, is giving back to our community and making the best of what we have, as well as creating beautiful, valuable friendships and relationships. The illustrations in this edition are really lovely. Some of them were hilarious, but mostly they were just beautiful. I think these are done by, P.J. Lynch is the illustrator, and as you can see, these are just beautiful illustrations. Let me find another one. Here we go. Very nice. And it really added to the story. I would recommend this to anyone, especially around Christmas time. The Afterlife of Holly Chase is a retelling of The Christmas Carol by Cynthia Hand. It came out in October of 2017. It is about Holly, who gets visited by three ghosts on Christmas Eve, and they tell her that she needs to fix the way she acts, but she doesn't listen, and she ends up dying. And when she comes back, she goes to work for the same people that came to visit her on Christmas Eve, which is called Project Scrooge, that goes to visit Scrooges like Holly to try to show them the error of their ways and to, get them to become better people. And everything is fine for 5 years, and Holly works there until one year the Scrooge is very handsome and things start going awry for Holly. This book does a great job in evoking the same feelings that A Christmas Carol gave me. It's about realizing that the world doesn't revolve around you and that people matter, no matter how insignificant they may seem to you. And the message is just as important as in A Christmas Carol, but it's more accessible, I think, because it's told in a modern teenager's perspective in modern language. The premise really got me. I really love the idea of a whole company devoted to making people's lives better, all based on a Charles Dickens novel. It's a really wonderful and creative retelling. I enjoyed having an unlikable person as the main character. We rarely get intentionally bad people as the main characters in YA novels, and I just thought it was great. I thought it was fresh and interesting. I liked all the characters, actually. They were all great in their own right. But my favorites were probably Dave and Stephanie. There's an element of mystery that I rarely see talked about when I see this book reviewed, and it really, like, from the first, you can tell that there's something off in the company, and it kept me reading even during the slow parts of the book because I wanted to find out what was so weird and, like, why everyone was acting so strange. One of the things I disliked about this book was the romance element. I just thought it was really boring. I didn't think the two characters had a lot of chemistry, and I didn't think it was very relevant to the story either. I think that it could have been a friendship, and the story would have gone on just as well. Yeah, I didn't like it. Another thing I didn't like was the writing. It's told from this perspective of a 17-year-old. I think it tries too hard to sound like it's from the perspective of a 17-year-old. Another thing was that it doesn't give each character their own voice, at least in my opinion. And so while I was listening to the audiobook, I had a lot of trouble differentiating between who was talking. The narrator did a great job of making the voices for each character unique, but the writing was still the same for each character, so it was still confusing. Overall, I really liked this book. I thought it was a really unique retelling, and it was just really enjoyable, and I'm probably going to do another reread of this around Christmas time next year. And I thought that I would review these two together because I read them during Christmas time, and they put me in such a good Christmas spirit, and I think that people who want to get in the Christmas spirit should read these two together. And yeah, so maybe next year I'll try to do like a read along with me of these two books. And until then, I hope you enjoyed this double feature. And that's all for me for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye!